Al-Husayn ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib was born in Medina into the most noble and respected family of Arabia. His father was Ali ibn Abi Talib, the fourth caliph of Islam, and his mother was Fatima, the youngest daughter of Prophet Muhammad. He inherited all the noble qualities and attributes of his parents and received tuition in Islam from the Prophet himself. Being very fond of his two grandsons, the Prophet visited them daily and spent quality time with them. Once, while the Prophet was holding Husayn in his lap, tears suddenly began to roll down his cheeks. When he was asked why he cried, he replied, "Because angel Gabriel appeared just now. He has informed me that my followers are going to slay this grandson of mine. He has even shown me the dust of the spot where he is going to be butchered. The dust is red." Husayn was only 7 when the Prophet passed away in 632. 6 months later he suffered another shock when his beloved mother Fatima also died, leaving him in the care of his father. It was a very difficult period for young Husayn. Husayn was about 20 years old and had become well known for his versatility, military skills, and bravery. As an accomplished soldier he participated in a number of battles against the adversaries of Islam, including the one that led to the conquest of Tabaristan. Husayn thus acquired a reputation in Medina for his sacrifices for the sake of Islam. However, during the latter part of Caliph Uthman's reign, internal frictions and schisms began to disrupt the unity of the Islamic State. Bent on wreaking havoc within the Islamic State, insurgents tried to blame the Caliph for the deteriorating situation in Medina. Unfortunately, the insurgents managed to enter Caliph Uthman's house through the back door and brutally murdered him. Husayn and his brother stood at the front gate of the Caliph's house to try to protect him from his opponents. Ali was then elected the 4th Caliph in 656. Ali died of a stab wound inflicted by a member of the Khawarij sect. Immediately after his father's death he was elected Caliph. He abdicated in favor of his rival Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan to avoid yet another leadership contest. However, Husayn disagreed with his brother's decision and considered Muawiyah to be an opportunist and usurper. Husayn's stance on the issue of political leadership put him on a collision course with Yazid, the ruler of the Islamic State in 680. Like his father, Yazid had a privileged upbringing, but, unlike his father, he knew very little about Islam and was even less experienced in public affairs. Yazid created chaos and disorder across the Islamic State. His choice of governors, civil servants, and military commanders were equally appalling. He removed some of the most gifted and able governors and diplomats from their posts and replaced them with some of the most corrupt and ruthless people. This helped to intensify the conflict between the ruling elites and the masses. When Husayn refused to recognize Yazid as caliph, Yazid ordered his governor in Medina to force Husayn to pledge loyalty. Instead, Husayn fled to Makkah under the cover of darkness. Yazid replaced the governor of Kufa with the ruthless Ziyad. Learning of Husayn's approach, Ziyad deployed guards to capture him. Unaware of the dangerous situation in Kufa, Husayn was trapped by Ziyad's forces upon his arrival. Husayn reminded them that he had come at the invitation of the Kufans, but the commander denied any invitation. Ibn Ziyad ordered Husayn to camp in the barren plains of Karbala, where Husayn, his family, and followers faced dire conditions without water. Ziyad sent Ibn Sa'd with a large contingent to confront Husayn. Though both Husayn and Ibn Sa'd initially sought a peaceful resolution, Ziyad, influenced by his aide Shamar, rejected the proposed truce and ordered Husayn to surrender. As tensions escalated, Husayn prepared his family and followers for the impending battle. On the 10th of Muharram, Husayn and his followers took a stand against Yazid's tyranny. Husayn's men fell one by one in the ensuing battle. Husayn continued to fight until he was severely wounded. Denied water by his enemies, Husayn was eventually struck down by Malik and then beheaded by Shamar. His head was sent to Yazid in Damascus, while his body was buried in Karbala. There is, however, much disagreement about the burial site of his head. Husayn's martyrdom earned him the title Prince of Martyrs, while Yazid is one of the most despised figures in Islamic history. Husayn's steadfastness against Yazid's oppression symbolizes the eternal struggle of good against evil and justice against tyranny. His legacy endures as a powerful emblem of resistance against injustice and brutality throughout the Muslim world.